Hello guys, today I want to present another new course released on Laravel Daily.com for premium members. This is a text-based course in this case about exceptions and errors in Laravel. Pretty often I get questions about exceptions and how to use them and how to use try-catch and other similar syntax options and when to use them. So I decided to team up with my colleague Modestas and prepare a course. And as usual on YouTube I release a few lessons for you for free, even if you're not a premium member. So in this case I will release 2 lessons. A bit untypical choice, it will be the first lesson and the last lesson. So today, let's take a look at open source examples of using try-catch with exceptions. And if you want the full course, the link will be, as usual, in the description below. So I will read and summarize this lesson for you in a video format. So our goal as a developer is to prevent this screen from happening. You should provide a typical visual error message, validation message, or something like that, some redirect instead of typical exception page. Or on production, you would see something like this, just 500 server error, even without any explanation. Which is good actually, because your end user should not see any technical details. That's why you need to, in your env file, provide app env production and app debug false. Then they would see the standard error. But our goal is to prevent that, to have try catch and then on catch specify a good error message, understandable error message, and how to fix it. So this is a typical how to handle exception try-catch block. So you try some code, and in case of exception, you, for example, log some error somewhere. But then the question is, what else can we do here? I've seen a lot of tutorials with try-catch with just log an exception or with just meaningless exit or something like that. So let's take a look at open source examples in a few real projects. And the first one is Bagisto, open source e-commerce platform which has this function. So we're trying to add a product to the cart, but if something happens, we're catching the general exception. In this case, we are flashing the warning with error message. We log the error, we try to find the product, and we redirect to that product URL key, whatever that is. So in other words, we're overriding the response. And we have the response here. This code is hidden. There's much more code here. So at some point we have the response from the try block. And in the catch block, we're overriding that response to be returned here. So this is one example what you can do in the catch block. Just override the default values that would be returned from the function. Another example in the same project in the menu generator. It's a blade file, and maybe it's not the best example to show PHP code in the blade because that logic should be somewhere else, not in the blade. But we have try-catch here, and let's see what it does. So try to populate the submenu collection, but if something goes wrong, we just override submenu to menu item children. So some logic which may fail, and then there's a fallback value to that submenu collection. Another example is from Twill CMS. In the search function, they have some collection magic, so to speak, and here's the try-catch. We try to assign the author to latest user, otherwise admin, and if something goes wrong somewhere in those relationships, we still provide the fallback of admin. Technically, this should not really happen if you provide good relationships here, or you may use null safe operator in PHP, so add a question mark here and here and here. But this is just another example of providing fallback value to the try main block variable. Another example is in front-end helpers of the same project. We try to populate some string value for front-end assets. Otherwise, we return just the file. Again, it's about returning or assigning some fallback value in the catch block. And another example, pretty typical actually in Laravel, catching any exception or global PHP exception and overriding that with Laravel exception, typically validation exception. So Laravel allows you to throw validation exception, which would be processed internally by Laravel and returning redirect back or returning 422 status code. If it's an API project, you just provide with messages like this. So if something goes wrong with uploading the avatar here, then instead of throwing general exception or any exception, we just return validation message, which is more user-friendly. So these are the examples of what you can do in Try-Catch blog from real open source projects. What would be your use cases? What do you do in the Catch blog? Share your experience in the comments below. And tomorrow we will continue with second free lesson from this course, which is handling exceptions in Laravel API. So how to override the default find or fail error message. And if you want the full course, as usual, the link will be in the description below. That's it for this time, and see you guys in other videos.